Welcome to the Wise Mind Happy Hour. I'm Kelly.
I'm John.
And welcome back. Welcome back to John.
Yeah,
We missed you.
I'm back. I'm glad you guys held off recording and waited for me to get better.
We just couldn't resist, but we did mention your name quite a bit.
I'm on my
the last
deathbed, and
pod.
you guys are like, you know, we'll just record.
We'll just kind of forget about
Wish him well, and moving on. Great episode.
Josh did say before you came over today, Josh was like, I am really happy John's coming over.
Really?
Yeah. He's like, I really don't
You
want
guys
to
do
do
a great
the pod.
job. A great job with the episodes.
Oh, thanks. Well, we do him in a pinch.
No, I missed being here.
Yeah. Well, what's new? Tell us what's going on.
Well, I got sick.
Yeah.
But now I'm better.
I didn't ask
I'm
you
on the mend.
what happened.
I think there's just a bunch of like chesty viral stuff going around.
Oh, yeah.
And so it kind of like went from one person in my house to the next person.
Oh.
And it like overlapped. It was like Sarah stayed home with Wes on Monday. And then I started getting sick Monday night. And then I stayed home with him on Tuesday because I was sick too.
Yeah.
And
oh, God.
so it just kind of like traveled through the house. But yeah, it was just like coughing and gross. And
Oh,
I know.
God.
But I hadn't been sick in like over a year. So
Wow.
I know.
Yeah, it'll really, like, as an adult, getting an actual virus is like quite a doozy.
And I never get sick. What I've come to notice is that the last time I got sick over a year ago, I had to cancel the pod as well. I never get sick like in between.
Yeah.
It's always like leading right up to it.
Right.
Because that was when we were going to have like one of our first guests. And then I canceled.
Oh, and then you were sick.
I was sick.
I barely remember that.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything. But you're feeling better.
I'm feeling better. Things are on the up and up.
Okay. Did you have to go to the doctor or
No.
just a virus? Yeah.
Just a virus, I
I
think.
mean, what are they going to do?
Nothing. Just
Yeah.
wait it out.
Yeah.
But then I made the mistake of I had made one of Wes's really good friends, his dad was like, hey, I made a reservation to play tennis.
Oh.
I was like, do you play often and things like that? And he was like, I don't have anybody to play with. I just make the reservation because it's really hard to come by. Do you play? And I was like, oh, well, I played in high school.
Oh, you thought he was just like humble bragging? Like, I kind of made this reservation.
Yeah, I thought he was just like telling me about like this reservation he made. And he was like, no, I just make them and I try to find people to go with me.
Oh, that's
And I was like,
nice.
Okay. I was like, I'm down. I'll play. And he was like, when was the last time you played? And I'm like counting on my fingers. I'm like, like 7 years. Like I have not played in a long time.
Rusty.
So he's like, you still want to do it? I was like, yeah, absolutely. Well, I got sick. I was like sick on that Tuesday, and the reservation was like Thursday morning at 7 a.m.
Oh, God.
So he texted me. He was like, oh, I heard you're, sick. Are you going to make it? And I was like, yeah, I think I'll make it. So I pushed myself to do it, and that was a mistake, but it was so much fun. It was both. I was like blowing my nose in between like volleys, but it was fun.
Yeah.
There
are people who do work out when they're sick.
I don't work out ever when I'm healthy.
I don't either. It's
but
like sick.
This was an opportunity where I hadn't done something in such a long time that I used to enjoy. So
wow. Where was it? Indoor? Obviously
it's at McFetridge. Do you know where that is? It's like California. It's like Addison in California. You go just a little bit north. It's like they have a skating rink there where they have hockey practices and stuff like that. But they have like huge indoor tennis courts and pickleball courts there.
Indoor.
Yeah. So you make it 7 days in advance or 6 days in advance. But the reservations, it's like first come, first serve. So you have to log in. Yeah, exactly. You have to log in at like 7 a.m. to try to get it, and they just book up really quick.
Wow.
So that's why he books them and doesn't really have anybody to play with. If he can find somebody, great. If not, he'll maybe rent like a ball machine. But
okay. Oh, fun.
I know. But it was one of those moments where my instinct was, this was before I got sick. My instinct was like, oh, you haven't done it in a long time. Just say no. And I was like, don't resist that. Or like,
say yes.
Just do it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Just go. And I was really happy I did. I mean, I really wish I wasn't sick. I think I would have enjoyed it that much more, but now it makes me want to play more.
Yeah, totally.
So it's one of those opportunities where it would have been so easy to be like, no, I'm not going to do it. But.
Is this guy like maybe a potential like close friend?
Yeah, no, we're close friends with this family, and he's getting ranked, quote unquote, so that he can play in a league there. So he's in much better tennis shape than I am, and he played in high school as well. But he's been playing consistently.
Wait, I didn't know you played in high school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
did you just say that today? No.
Did
I miss that entirely? No, I don't think you mentioned it.
Aren't we? Wait, what?
Did you say to me in this story
that I played tennis in high school? No, I think I just said I hadn't played in like 6 or 7 years.
Okay.
Maybe.
I'm like, I have
Maybe I didn't
dementia.
say that. But anyway, I did play in high school.
Okay, cool.
And he did as well. But he's in much better like tennis shape right now.
Okay.
But he was just looking for people to hit a ball with, and I was like, I'll do this again.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But anyway,
so fun.
rekindling an old like joy of mine.
That's so fun.
And if I can get in shape doing it, maybe so be it.
I love tennis. We've played.
You got courts right over here.
Pickleball people, but yeah, it's actually like literally right
It's
there.
in your backyard.
I know
basically.
that's part of me. Like we love pickleball so much, Josh and I, but I'm like, ugh, it's just so accessible. We should probably get more into tennis.
Let's hit the courts.
We should do
I'll
it.
bring my racket over. We'll play after we
Yeah.
record.
Does Sarah play?
She doesn't. She actually really doesn't like it
Oh, okay.
that much.
Does Wes play?
You know, we've taken them to courts sometimes. That's the other. It's hard to get on a court.
It's literally impossible. It's
it's-
crazy.
You have to wait, and so we haven't really gotten the boys that much into it. But yeah, other than that, being sick and trying to engage in a sport, you know, same old around here.
Nice.
What
Well,
about
I'm
you?
glad you're feeling better. I'm good. I feel like this week just worked a lot. I
And you
worked
guys
a
went to
lot.
New York.
Oh,
Right?
when we went to New York, yes. We went to New York to surprise Josh's mom. And she wasn't really surprised.
Like she knew you were coming.
She knew.
Oh, okay.
She did a good fake us out a little bit for a second. Like when we walked in, she was like, and then like when we were going to sleep that night and she left to go back to her hotel, we stayed
No,
with Josh's
she doesn't
sister.
live in New York. She lives in Michigan.
So this is
So
Michigan.
she was out there visiting your sister?
Yeah. We all decided to go to New York to surprise her for her birthday. Do
Okay.
like a little New York trip. Now, doing that the last weekend of January is something I would never advise someone to do
No.
because it was truly so cold. And I mean, thank God I wore like tights, long socks, Uggs, pants, thermal, turtleneck sweater, winter coat, heated gloves, a balaclava, and then my other hood on top of it. And I was still pretty cold the whole time.
Wonderful.
I mean, it was like 0 degrees. It was crazy. And you have to walk everywhere. So it was a little nuts, but it was fun. There were a lot of chaotic points in this trip,
Mhm.
and we ended up being able to laugh about pretty much all of them, which was nice. Josh's sister got accidentally like allergied by a restaurant.
Mm.
And the restaurant was chaos to begin with. It was this shout out to Motec in New York. It's like Mediterranean food. The food was really good. But, you know, we had a res. You walk in the door. They're like, the people next to us were like, we had a res too. We've been here for 45 minutes. And the woman was like super pregnant and her friend had just had surgery. And they're like standing there for
Oh,
45
man.
minutes with a res.
Yeah.
And we needed to get to a comedy show after.
See, these are the types of stories that don't sell me on New York. I've never been.
This is
But
the
these are
part
the
of New
type
York
of-
that sucks.
These are the type of stories that people tell where I'm like, I don't want to go there.
I know. Now, if you go in the summer,
When it's even more busy?
well, but it feels less busy because people are outside a lot. So
Oh,
the
okay.
spaces are less crowded.
Mhm.
I felt like the spaces were more crowded than I'd ever seen them. Every coffee shop, you're like, there's 85 people in here.
Yeah.
And like, I noticed so much that like the staff at all the places are just so like overwhelmed and overworked. And I don't like to walk into an establishment where I can tell they like don't want me to be there.
They're like, oh,
It's
great,
like
you.
stressful. Yeah. It's like, oof. So almost like the winter made it like more crowded because
Yeah.
I've gone a bunch in the summer and I feel like it's a little more spacious.
Yeah, I've never been, so I don't know.
I know.
It just feels so, from what everybody's talked about, concrete jungly
Yeah.
for me.
It's like kind of, that's the thing about it. It can at times be like too much commotion and in not enough space.
Not enough space.
And then you add like huge snowbanks, freezing temperatures, and you have so that many layers on. The second you walk in a coffee shop, they're like, "Excuse me, get out of my way," because you have like you're this wide.
Right.
Like we were laughing. We met my friend Leah in a coffee shop that was like the size of my fingernail. And like the second we walked in, they were just like, "You're in the way."
And I'm just a big guy, so I feel like I'm
Yeah.
already in people's
Ugh.
ways a lot of the time. They
Yeah.
can't see above me. They can't see past me. My arms are really long. I'm
Right.
gonna knock over something.
Yeah, totally. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's tricky.
Like people hate being around me at concerts.
Yeah. I know if a tall person steps in front of me, it's like devastating.
I know.
And I think I am kind of a tall person. So I'm like, I bet people behind me feel this way too.
Mhm.
Like women, you know. Yeah. Like,
wait, what?
women, because like there's most men are like taller than me.
Oh,
would
okay.
say,
I
but
got it.
you know, not most women. Well, now I'm trying to think. What are the parts of New York that you would like? I mean, there's always fun stuff like
the roads leading out of it, probably
the highway,
the bridge
home.
That's
No,
but, I think I'm not a hater on it. I'm sure I would like a lot of it.
Yeah, you would. The food is really good. It's like
Because
there's
there's probably
a lot of energy.
old too. I like old
Yes,
city,
old cool
architecture buildings.
Yeah, the parks are really cool. And like the comedy show, you know, it's like a comedy show where they're like working out new material. It's not the top of the top. And most people were pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's like a different caliber of like talent.
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
There actually was like one or two duds, but we saw some very funny comedians. This one guy, I forget his name with the long hair. He actually, a bunch of people told jokes about their therapy experiences. And this one guy, he like gets on stage. He's like, so my therapist told me I need to lose 15 pounds. He turns to the audience and goes, are they supposed to do that?
That's funny.
I screamed. I was laughing so hard. He's like, my PCP didn't tell me to lose 15 pounds. My
Just my therapist.
cardiologist.
You could look a little better in therapy.
Totally. And I said to Josh, I was like, classic like LA therapist who's probably like, go on a cleanse.
Yeah.
And that's the answer. Mm-hmm. Go on a retreat and make sure you don't eat anything. I mean, it was so funny.
It reminds me of that, what is that movie, Knocked Up, where they're like, so you're saying I need to lose weight. And they're like, no, you just need to get a gym membership. Or, you know,
step on the scale.
We just want you to be healthier and step on the scale and be 20 pounds lighter than whatever.
Weigh that much.
That'll cure it for you. I would want to see Central Park.
I love Central Park, right?
That's why they call it a Central Park.
You know what's happening more in New York and especially Central Park than would happen at a park in Chicago?
I don't.
People are like making out. We saw like 100 people making out.
Oh, good.
And it's like because like probably everyone in New York has like roommates and like everything's crowded. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, and there's more Europeans. I think that's part of it too because Europeans like do that more.
Okay.
But I remember I was like, there's so much like public romance in this park. It was kind of fun. And then there was like a baby shower at the park.
Well, what else do you have to do in the cold? You got to make out.
Yeah. I mean, it's the only way to stay warm.
It's the only way to stay warm.
Yeah.
Making out.
Making out. But it was fun. The trip was very fun.
My mom got you a monogrammed bag.
Well, that's how we figured out she wasn't surprised. So she acted surprised. And then the next day she comes with, it wasn't even a bag. It was like a grocery bag with my initials printed on it. So it was like a cute, like little gift. But then like she got one for Alex and one for me. And of course, like they're monogrammed. So it takes time to get that done.
Wait, what's your middle name?
Well, it was just KK.
Oh, okay.
But Alex was not happy because she was like, so you knew about the surprise. Now this is your way of telling us. And your mom then for a bit tried to maintain that she was surprised.
She's like, I just happen to have it on me.
Right. For a second there, I wasn't like putting two and two together because your mom is so generous with gifts. So I kind of was just like taking it, not thinking. And your sister was just like, we worked so hard to surprise you. Like she wanted your mom to either pretend the whole time and kind of go along with it or like confess.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was funny. Oh my God. There were so many little funny things like that.
Do you like surprises? Like for yourself, would you want Jish to surprise you? There's no right or wrong here. Just see, I don't like a surprise.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
I know. I'm almost like leaning toward no. Well, based on like our engagement and how scared I was. I don't know what came over me, but like
you don't want to walk in a room with 25 to 50 people waiting there for you.
That I don't care about.
Okay.
I think what freaks me out is like all the like little secret communication that has to go on beforehand that I know that some element of which would hit my radar and that would freak me out. Like I think
the snooping around and
yeah. Because when you were proposing to me, at one point you were like, we're not actually going to that place you think we're going. We're going here and we have to drop off the rental car. And I said to Josh, I was like, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Like, what does that
like,
mean?
And then I need you to put on this blindfold.
Put on these
But trust
handcuffs.
me, it's going to be okay.
Yeah, it was like, It was just like the lack
that's
of
funny.
control where it's like, I obviously, my wise mind, like, know that would all just be a surprise and be good.
Mhm.
But it's
I
scary.
can't get into it, I don't think.
Yeah. If someone could truly be like a ninja,
Like, it has to be a true surprise for you.
yeah, complete surprise. And I think to do that, I think you've got to do it like 2 weeks to a month before the person's actual birthday to really throw them off the scent.
Mm-hmm.
Because if their birthday passes, and we tried this with your mom, do like kind of a decoy celebration, but that didn't work.
Is it wise to throw a surprise party? We don't
I mean,
know.
that maybe we should we make that our, is it wise? How wise is it?
We could.
Put a pin in it.
Put a pin.
Okay, we'll come back to that. But yeah, and then the only other thing, I'm reading this book that was like really starting to freak me out. It's like this book about this woman. It's a true story memoir. Her husband and her had this like seemingly idyllic marriage.
Mhm.
They were like pretty wealthy people in New York, and they both like came from money and made a lot of money. And one day the husband kind of just like snapped and was just like, I'm done, in the middle of the pandemic. And she's like telling the story of it. And it's like, I don't know, like freaks me out a little bit.
What's the title?
It's called Strangers. Belle Burden is the author.
Mm.
I mean, it's like you could rip through this book because it's so compelling and it's well written. She's a good writer,
Mhm.
but it's like freaking me out.
So we don't know yet because you didn't read far enough.
Haven't finished.
Why he just ended it?
There's some things as a therapist I'm like looking at and I'm like, he sounds a little manic,
Yeah.
maybe. Or there's like kind of a little bit of that psychopath thing, like with the way he handled
The
their
plot thickens.
prenup and like,
But it's a memoir,
yeah,
and she wrote it.
she wrote it, yeah. And you'll love this. Like, this is not like too much of a spoiler, but like, you know how it's like, it's funny. Like, even like clients will sometimes do this in therapy work. Like, they'll describe something, and you really do have to poke and ask a lot of questions before you get the real picture.
Mhm.
Like, they can describe something and truly think they're describing the full extent of it. And then you just ask like a couple questions and you have a very different picture of like their childhood or something.
Mhm.
And I mean, I think even my own therapist did that a bit with certain things where it was like, well, what was this like? And then what was that? And you're like, oh, I guess I never thought of it like that. But, you know, like she really does describe him like as like so wonderful in so many ways. But then like at one point she's like, well, when we had kids, his whole thing was like, I don't do bath, I don't do bedtime, I don't do homework. You know, like, and she didn't work and he works a million
Yeah.
hours.
So he doesn't do the evenings.
Like he didn't really
That's
do
your entire evening
much.
for years.
It sounded like he just did fun outings and
Yeah,
that was the
right.
extent. And he would go to work Saturday, Sunday, all during the week.
Yeah.
And eventually it got to, she's living on Martha's Vineyard and he's living in the city during the week.
Oh, well.
And driving out to
yeah,
Martha's
that's a
Vineyard.
red flag.
I mean, crazy.
What's happening during the week?
So I think the part of this, I'm getting a sense that like some of this will be like her reflecting on like, what was my role in this?
Yeah.
Since I can't control him.
Mhm.
She's getting to that place, which is interesting. And
What was
her-
it? Bedtime, homework, and bath time?
Yeah, I don't do bed, don't do bath, don't do homework.
Uh-huh.
Which it's sort of
It's
like
definitely a way to approach parenting.
right. But it's also like you could say to yourself, "Oh, I have a stay-at-home," and then of course the stay-at-home wife also had a nanny, so he was even more probably like
Oh.
geared up to make this choice.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like that doesn't even have to. You know this, like even if someone had these exorbitant resources, it's like you don't want to ever have any engagement with like your kids.
Yeah, you're so
school.
disengaged.
Yeah, don't you want to like
Right.
know them?
Right.
Their bath time, their bedtime. I
Bedtime's
guess the answer
great,
was
too.
no.
I mean, bedtime's not always great.
Right.
What it is, though, is that's really like some quiet time where you get a lot of what I have found some real like connection and vulnerable stuff that only comes out right before
Yeah.
your kids are going to bed. You know, I can't imagine. I mean, even being away from my kids, like that's one thing that I really, really miss. I mean, I miss a lot of the different things, but like putting them to bed is very special. You know, it's a very special
Yeah.
time.
Totally.
But yeah, I don't do that. And maybe it was a slow burn. Maybe she
Right.
kind of thought they were going into it with
Right.
like, yeah, I'm more of the caretaker and
Yeah.
he's more of doing his business or whatever. But
Right.
still, wow. Interesting.
I think, and a running theme is like it doesn't sound like they make these like philosophical decisions in a joint way.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
like unilateral.
it's unilateral, or the decision's never made and things just kind of unfold. And it's like they're unfolding in his favor.
not a lot of talking.
No.
Strangers.
And I do think like some of this is like has to do with people with like that much money.
Yeah.
And like both of them had pretty difficult, kind of complicated childhoods that were very privileged, but very
Distant.
difficult. Yeah. Distant and like
Cold.
her, I'm like spoiling things, but it's interesting. But like her parents both have really interesting relationships with their inherited wealth. Like they both like inherited wealth, but then like the dad really misused it and then kind of still lived like everything was normal. And like, oh,
I'm gonna have to put it on my,
she's just such like a lyrical writer that I like the
because I did just start the book that you loaned me, because I just finished the two others that were backlogged. So I got like 10 pages into it and then I fell asleep, and I am about to read it. So.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, this one's Strangers.
Strangers.
I think it's a little longer than the other one I suggested. The one I suggested, like, you're going to burn through that so fast.
I don't mind a long book though.
But I don't know if it's actually that long. I can never tell how long books are on my Kindle.
That's why I like, one of the reasons
I know.
I really appreciate a physical book.
Yeah,
I do really want to know where I am.
I know. I really do like a physical book. I'm coming back around to them.
Does it have two birds? What look like
Yeah,
doves
that's
on
it.
it? Okay.
That's it.
All copies in use. That's all right. We'll put a hold on that. Get it in
Copies
3 years.
All copies in use. Well, if I do buy that one, because sometimes when I really like a
Love it.
book, I'll buy the physical copy and I'll lend it to you.
This is great.
Unless Josh wants to read it first.
Spend all your
It's scary.
360 holds on this puppy.
Yeah, it's popular.
I'm getting in line.
Yeah, get in line.
Why not?
It's a popular one. But yeah, that's really all that's going on. My cousin also gave me a book about quantum physics that sometimes I switch to. It's like quantum physics for beginners.
I like it.
Yeah.
I see Intermezzo on your shelf. I read that book as well.
Did you like it?
It's all right.
I loved it.
Yeah.
You only thought it was all right?
I liked it.
Yeah. Have you read her other books?
No, I don't think so.
Conversations with Friends.
This is going to turn into a book club.
I know. Yeah,
Oh,
like
speaking
I'm
of,
in a
our
reading
book
phase.
club started again. Remember I was telling you we read that book on climate change
Yeah.
and working with patients. Now we're reading more about, and there's many of these types of books that are out there, but it has to do with diagnoses and overdiagnosing, over-medicalization.
Ooh,
So
okay.
the first chapter was on Huntington's disease. I'm really looking into, though, not that that's overdiagnosed, but the idea of the first chapter was, if you know that that's, your parents have it, you have a 50% chance of getting it. Would
Right.
you get the genetic testing or not? Because
Oh, God.
sometimes having that knowledge, then, you could imagine the impacts on how you view your life and
Yeah.
how you are maybe not engaged in your life as much because you think you're seeing symptoms that aren't there. So it was really interesting, and it had some vignettes of different people who had either been diagnosed with it or had it in their family and they chose not to get diagnosed with it. And
Right.
the next chapter, though, has to do with, it's broken up into two. It's Lyme disease
Oh.
and it's long COVID.
Wait, the connection between Lyme disease and long COVID? No.
Just kind of like, are these
Real.
overdiagnosed?
Oh,
Are these like
yeah.
kind of real things? Or I don't want to say that this person is pushing an agenda either way. And I'm not far enough into the book, but I'm really interested in the long COVID.
Well, Lyme disease is incredibly interesting. In your mind, when you hear like what it is, it's like, how could anyone be overdiagnosed? It's like you have exposure to ticks
Mhm.
and then you have these symptoms. Like
Mhm.
that should be, to me, that should be a fairly small portion of the population.
Is it an autoimmune disease?
So it's like an autoimmune reaction to like tick poisoning.
Okay.
And you know what? What's often misdiagnosed, or the two that get misdiagnosed for each other,
Mm-hmm.
is rheumatoid arthritis
Oh.
and Lyme.
It has
And
like,
I went to grad school with someone who was,
because it's like inflammatory.
yeah, and they have like, I think kind of identical symptoms and even antibodies that show up in your blood work.
Mm.
And the girl I went to grad school with
Mm-hmm.
thought she had rheumatoid arthritis for a long time and then went to a different doctor and got properly diagnosed with
Mm.
Lyme,
Mm-hmm.
which like you can, in some cases, go like almost like cure. Not in all cases you can. There's
Okay.
chronic Lyme and then there's like Lyme.
Or it's like inactive in your body or
Yeah,
whatever.
like remission.
Remission. Interesting.
And like obviously your rheumatoid arthritis symptoms can go into remission, but it's different.
So this book is called The Age of Diagnosis: How Our Obsession with Medical Labels is Making Us Sicker
Yeah.
by Suzanne O'Sullivan. Now, she's an MD, and I believe from the UK, but even in the prologue and whatnot, just the idea of even if we have better instruments of diagnosing people with certain things and illnesses, it doesn't on the back end mean that we have better treatment for those
Yeah.
people. So then is it making people sicker by introducing this diagnosis to them, and then
Yeah.
there's not as much on the back end where we're really like helping people through this.
Yeah.
And it even talks about how they've like moved markers for things like pre-diabetic got moved, and then it like kind of like opened up a whole window of
Yeah.
people who were now all of a sudden pre-diabetic when before the
Right.
the number got moved.
Yeah.
And it's
Same
like kind
with
of
obesity.
arbitrary. Yeah,
Yeah.
obesity, right, exactly. So anyway, that's my book club book right now.
I love it.
Interesting
I'm
read.
so interested to hear what
But there is a chapter too on, so we're reading it, and it does have certainly mental health components with all health related issues, but there is a chapter on ADHD, and then there is a chapter on like spectrum diagnoses as well. So
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see that.
It's so interesting with stuff that's like a little less concrete.
Hmm.
I mean, it's like I feel for people on both ends, like someone who's like, I'm having all these crazy symptoms.
Yeah,
Like they want a diagnosis,
right.
or even mental health symptoms. Like sometimes I'm almost like I could flip a coin with like what client feels liberated by a
Mhm.
diagnosis and which feels really limited by it
Hmm.
and misunderstood by it or finally understood.
Yeah.
It's a tough thing.
It is really tough. And I would, I hate to then have people not be taken seriously with
Right.
certain, I mean, it cuts both ways, right? It's,
Yeah.
if you're using a diagnosis so much, it kind of loses meaning.
Yeah.
But once it starts losing meaning, then people aren't taking it seriously, which it might,
Yeah.
people might very much be suffering in it. So
Totally.
it's very difficult.
And there's like, it can be pretty gendered too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We always talk about kind of the mental health of it all, being out there on social media and everybody saying,
Yes.
using certain terms and saying they're experiencing certain things, and
Yeah.
anecdotal kind of like, oh, well, I was up all weekend, so I must be bipolar or something like that because I
Right.
had like a lot of energy this week.
Right.
And it's,
Or I have mood swings.
or I have mood
bipolar.
swings. So
Yeah.
yeah.
There really is a lot of like armchair
Mhm.
stuff going on. Or even like legitimate licensed practitioners using platforms that like distort the advice or the diagnosis. Or,
Right.
you know what I was going to suggest, and maybe we will do an episode on this, but there was like an interesting New York Times article that was like, what really is a narcissist? And part of the article was like, this is getting thrown around so much.
So much.
And I think it could be really interesting.
Let's do it.
Part of me wanted to. I was like looking into some articles on like more peer reviewed articles on like narcissism as a trait, when it's pathological and when it's not.
Hmm.
They even looked at like vulnerable narcissism, which is like the world hates me and is focused on me. And then the like more pathological, like I'm good. I'm the best.
I'm the best. I'm
Trump,
better than.
like pretty similar, like negative effects of like living from that perspective. But it's interesting. But yeah, I think there is a real like distorting probably in all directions of like, I feel this sometimes about anxiety. Like every person alive is going to experience fear. And I think it's like
Right.
been way too pathologized, the idea of
Yeah.
worry and fear.
Yeah.
I think some people are like, well, but my anxiety.
When does human experience turn to pathology?
Yeah.
Right? Versus just that's a human experience.
Right.
Part of human experience is suffering,
Totally.
not to be diagnosed necessarily.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that people don't need help or support. And granted, a lot of this also has to do with, in order for practitioners to get reimbursed, you have to have a code that is a diagnosis to submit to an, so we're also
Yeah.
a part of a system that's set up
Totally. We're chained.
that rewards diagnoses. So,
Pathology.
which is a whole other podcast. But
totally.
sorry, I took us off on
No, I love it.
a tangent there.
These
with
will be-
these books and book club.
Yeah. I love this book club. I am going to come and tap on the window.
You're gonna be like one of those suction cup on the window, like I'm reading it.
Yeah. Do you guys ever meet out in public?
Not yet, because we're avoiding you. We're avoiding outsiders.
Show up at Loch Lomond. There's a lot of space in there.
Oh, I know. That's where we met for
Yeah.
Our first podcast meeting.
The birth of the pod.
The birth of the pod.
Yeah. Okay, well, maybe that's the perfect moment to transition into our topic for today.
Yes. Striving?
Striving or non-striving.
Or non-striving? I say striving because probably I strive a lot.
Yeah, well, same, for sure. Yeah, this is basically, we're going to talk about it as a mindfulness, well, I guess component, yeah, principle.
Yeah.
A mindfulness thing.
A pillar?
Yeah,
What are we looking for?
Pillar, yes.
Is it a pillar?
I like pillar. I think that's great. Yeah. So what comes to mind when you think of non-striving?
So the thing, well, we had to refresh our memories, but the one thing that I wrote down was non-striving is being and moving away from doing.
Yes, the being versus the doing.
Yeah, kind of like allowing and being open. When I think of non-striving, it's allowing and being open.
Yeah.
And for some reason, striving always makes me think of I'm like tense and I'm like trying like so hard, like
efforting.
Yeah, exactly. Like very, like I'm gritting and I can't. Yeah, it's like reactive almost. I don't know.
Totally.
That's what I think of, but
Yeah, I like that. That comes up with mindfulness and like other forms of meditation, like Buddhist doctrine. It's a lot about that, like cultivating that like space of being and not always having to do. It is that like not efforting, not hustling so much toward basically an outcome.
Right.
And it's like, why are we even talking about this? Why is this a mindfulness principle? Why be mindful? Why non-strive? The idea being like mindfulness, that present moment, non-judgmental awareness is where like the most profound like well-being is, like the deepest sense of like wholeness. And I feel like that resonates with me in my lived experience, because like I'm often like trying to get to the next thing. Or even it's like, this could even be within like trying to practice mindfulness, like trying to like get to the mindful place.
Right.
Like the place of peace and zen.
Because when I think of more formal meditation, I always strive to not have my mind wander. And that's always a really difficult thing for me to let go of, is to just let my mind wander, and then when I notice that it's wandering, then kind of like bring it back.
Accept.
I feel like I get very like stuck on wanting it to focus, and then I'm kind of like striving to keep it somewhere. Yeah. I don't want my mind to wander, and then it's hard for me to just let that be.
That there's like a paradox in it, right? Where it's like the intention is this like connection to the present moment and not wandering off into like past or future. But then it's like, if that happens, there's a paradox of like, allow it, then change it, allow it, then come back. Notice it. So like there is actually space for the mind to wander, even though that's not the core intention. Every mental health like intervention is essentially like paradoxical a bit. It is that acceptance and change. And like non-striving is like let go of efforting toward an outcome.
Which is hard, because don't you think we are trying to lead our clients in a certain direction?
Yeah.
So is that striving?
I think in some cases, yes, for sure. I feel like I'll even catch myself striving. Or sometimes I heard someone talk about it in the parts work. They said like, don't pursue something.
Pursuing? That's a good word for it,
it's like just be there with the person. And it's funny, like it's like I have self-consciousness in both directions. Like if I'm pursuing something and like hopefully this person feels better by the end of this session, or if I'm like, I'm just really truly gonna be present with them. I could imagine like internet criticism of either attempt, like, oh, so you just sit there and do nothing and then I'm paying you, or whatever, or even someone going to therapy. Oh, so you just like are present with another person, like whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
Or that like more self-consciousness I feel maybe with like other like wise therapists, like, of course it's not about me. I don't want to pursue an agenda. And I even want to encourage them to be in that space of being. That's like, is that striving too? It's like falls onto itself a little bit.
Striving's always confusing and non-striving.
Yeah.
I always get confused by it because then I'm striving about whether I'm striving.
I know, totally. I'm trying to figure out
I'm trying to figure out striving.
what it means to not strive. Well, it's like, I guess it's like when we put our energy towards something, we want that to be about the internal value system, not the external outcome.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, if you're questioning whether or not you're striving, maybe that's in service of your value of like growth and
Mhm.
learning. You don't have to necessarily perfectly figure out if you're striving. It's more like a curiosity.
Yeah.
You know, could this be efforting towards something?
Yeah, maybe the non-striving is the recognition of it and not following it.
Yeah.
Tapping in and noticing when you are trying to pursue or you're having the urge or whatever it is, the voice is telling you, your thoughts are telling you to like react or do something.
Yeah.
If you're able to just be more present with that, that is the non-striving, is the ability to contact that but not follow it.
Yeah.
Because you're not really striving in that moment. You're noticing, you're being present with what is showing up for you to push you in
Yes.
that direction.
Yeah. You're noticing and like describing,
Mhm.
identifying.
Yeah, if you can pause that or slow that down,
Yeah.
that's maybe the non-striving element,
Yeah.
which then opens you up to maybe more options.
Yeah.
Man, do I strive being a parent? I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell us
Well, just
how.
trying to get my kids to do something is like
yeah.
that they don't want to do.
I know.
It's like shower, brush their teeth, do this and that. It can
Yeah.
feel so much, so effortful.
Yeah.
Bedtime, bath time, homework.
Oh, I
Yeah.
come back to that.
Totally.
Apparently that guy was wise. Just
Yeah.
get
No
out
bed,
of
no
there.
bath, no homework. I don't strive.
I don't strive. I don't strive and I don't make myself available. I'm just gone.
The kids are like completely dirty, not in their beds ever.
That's
So
hilarious.
wise.
Don't go to school.
That's funny. But,
Yeah.
and you do have moments where you just kind of drop the rope and that lack of pursuit, they eventually come around sometimes,
Yeah.
So maybe there is a lot to be said about not pursuing it so much when it comes to at least interpersonal stuff. But
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's like so interesting to think of it in an area like parenting, because it's like being a parent, like the role, you're like guiding your kids in like living, in existing and living.
yeah, I mean, you're teaching them how to live.
So you're in this role of like guide.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I've been quoted as saying sometimes to Wes and Shane, I'm tired of trying to convince people to live an effective life. Like I'm kind of exhausted of trying to teach you how to be like an effective person right
yeah,
now.
I'm
like,
done.
which that just goes right. And they're just
Yeah.
like, whatever.
They're like effective.
But sometimes it feels like that where it's like I'm only trying to help you. Like all of these things I'm trying to do,
yeah.
which, you don't think that as a kid. And I remember being back as a kid, I never thought, oh, well, everything my parents are doing is got my best interest in mind. Like you just
Right.
don't think like that as a
No,
kid. But
Totally. You're like, they're here to
side of it,
restrict me.
on the other side of it, as a parent, it's like, God, I'm putting so much effort into just like
Yeah.
guiding your life in not the right direction, but just what I feel is useful for you, and I'm looking out for you, and it's
Yeah.
sometimes just met with such resistance,
Well, yeah, it's like with something like parenting, this is where I think we really get into the paradox of it.
Mm.
And I'm not even a parent yet, but as I'm just trying to like conceptualize it for myself,
Mm-hmm.
and like that's very different than practicing it. But it's like you're in this role of guide.
Mm-hmm.
So your intention is to guide them, of
Right.
course.
Not just let it be.
But it's like, how do you both guide and not like force them to a particular arrival?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough
It's hard.
needle to
Yeah.
thread there.
It's almost like if you break it down to the little, like, how a lot of people like, whatever, they like coach parents on picky eating or something. And
Sure.
they're like, don't be a short order cook, like make a family meal let them take what they want
Take what they want.
and eat what they want.
Keep
and,
exposing them to
yeah.
options.
And if they're hungry enough, they'll come back to the plate
Mhm.
and voila, like they're not picky, which I don't know. I don't have kids, so I don't know really if that works, but I'm aware that that is a common philosophy.
Sure.
So it's like, is there a version of that with like the other like tasks of parenting?
Yeah.
There's like intentions, there's guidance, and you're there as this like secure base.
Yeah. The problem with that is when they're raging and refusing to eat anything, you do become the short order cook because they're so
Right.
hungry
And you've got to feed them.
and you got to feed them. That
right.
those are the moments where it's like that's all well and good, and then when they are so like emotion minded because they're so
Yeah.
hungry, it's like I'll get them whatever they want right now
Right.
because we got to tamper that down.
Well, and that's probably a moment where mindfulness is much less a priority.
Throw it out the window.
Throw it out the window, it's like there's
Just
like
problem
safety
solve
issues.
here. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Well, it's like I had this thought the other day. I didn't even share this with you, Josh, but I had this thought where I was like, there's no reason for me to ever resist like what Josh is doing. Like as in relationships, it's like, or at least me, it's like trying to like, and especially because I'm a therapist, I'm like, this is the effective thing. Like I'm saying shit like that all the time. And it's like, Josh, I'm not unsafe with Josh ever. So because that's not an issue, I literally never have to emotionally resist. I can respond. I can like engage, but I never actually have to resist. And like, honestly, it helped me in that moment to recognize that. Like, I was like, I need to remember this. Like, there's no reason to do that.
So I'm going to get blackout drunk and snore all night.
Yeah.
Well, it's like,
Irresistible.
now could being blackout drunk
Don't
at
resist.
points be unsafe? Yes.
Maybe.
It
don't
could
know.
be. Like drinking and driving.
Oh, yeah, that's really unsafe.
Totally.
I'm going to be crashing the car.
Right. But it's like only really with safety areas.
You're talking about just like not striving to have a certain
Result.
result.
Yes.
Or to
I
him
think
to
that's
do a certain
important. Yeah. I think that's at the crux of it because like it's when you bring up the thing about kids, it really makes this feel like, whoa, like how do you non-strive as a parent?
I don't think you do. I think you try.
You try.
And I think there's moments
Yeah.
that are lower stakes
Right.
that it works.
Yeah.
And I think it's also probably a product of just age.
Yeah.
I think maybe you can embody the non-striving as they have lived experience.
Yeah.
The brain is forming more. You are more of that person to kind of put maybe some guardrails out there, but
Yeah.
not really put them in any direction. And I mean, I guess that would be maybe I'm just hopeful that that's maybe what it becomes is more of like,
Yeah.
you're not really striving to have them do a particular thing. Maybe you want that and you're trying to respect their autonomy as they're getting older.
Yeah, like maybe it gets easier to non-strive like as they get more mastery
Maybe,
and
yeah. And just developmentally.
And to your point, like maybe if someone's had the experience where their parents like really, really strive to control their safety like at every second.
Like over controlling
Totally.
types. So yeah.
Like where it's like you can never ever be unsafe or even dip your toe in something that's not perfectly safe, which literally nothing is. And it's like striving to keep your kids safe. I actually think like there could be really useful non-striving there. Not like whatever, but that sort of like, I'm going to create a home with as much safety. That's my intention. And I'm also going to leave space for whatever happens.
Yeah.
Not strive to like make sure they never catch a bruise or a broken heart or a D on the test or a whatever. Easier said than done, of course, I'm sure. But I love it as an intention. And I mean, it's like, I feel this every single day.
Well, I think there's different areas of it, especially from the parenting perspective. But because like I don't ever strive with them on like their tests or their homework or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm more of just kind of like, okay, I gave you the reminders. If you're not going to do it, the natural consequence. I mean, you're going to get the grade you're going to get then.
Right.
So that for me, for some reason, is just an easier context to not feel the need to.
Yeah.
It's like, what? I know you're doing
Right.
what you're supposed to be doing in school right now, and
Yeah.
that's a privilege that my kids are like, they're very
Yeah.
attuned at school, and it's like, okay, kids don't turn in assignments all the time. Like,
Right.
that happens,
Totally.
so
I love that intention you have there of like, let them experience the natural
Right.
consequence. And that could even be true if a kid's like truly struggling with school.
Yeah.
Meaning like you step in with like support,
Mhm.
like practical and emotional
Mhm.
support, and you don't try to like force an A.
Now, what I am striving for right now with their work is procrastination. I'm trying for them to get a better understanding of what that means.
Yeah.
And trying to get them a little bit more future oriented with that. So I think I am striving there.
Yeah,
for them to
okay.
really understand that.
So you want them to not procrastinate.
I want them to at least consider, let's just paint a picture of what your Sunday is going to look like and feel like
Totally.
versus what your Sunday is going to look like and feel like if you choose maybe this option, right? This or
Yeah.
that option. Like, what's that going to look like?
Yeah.
And also, we don't know what happens in the future. So you might get invited somewhere
Right.
at the spur of the moment. And let's say your homework isn't done.
Yeah.
How is that going to feel
Right.
if we say no to that
Yeah.
invite or something like that?
So what do you make of that? Like your own desire or your own like urge to strive more there, not there?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I'm curious, like maybe it feels like worse for you or like it's like gonna hurt them more or something.
I think I just want them to have a better understanding overall of like time
Yeah.
and how to value being able to do something difficult when you don't want to do it
Yeah.
because there's something larger that might be in the future for you or something.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah, I mean, probably too, it just sucks when it's like, then they're angry they can't go somewhere or they're angry, so then it's like double. It's like they're doing the work
Totally.
plus they missed out on something,
Right.
which then just creates suffering for everybody, including me.
It's
So
like
it's
the
probably a
house is
self-centered thing too.
chaos.
Yeah. Where it's like,
Well, I know my striving is often so
where it's
self-centered.
like, I don't want to be here Sunday night trying to
Yeah.
like prep for the week and then you're doing this and
I mean, I'm sure people that are like really, really, I shouldn't even say good at striving because that doesn't even make sense. Non-striving, that doesn't even make sense. But it's like,
Mhm.
there must be parents who can like listen to the kids freaking out and not be activated. And it's like, I get so activated at that stuff when other people are like having a meltdown.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to be able to do. I think it
I
comes
mean,
with time.
Yeah.
Some people are probably naturally better at it, but I think I've gotten a little bit better at the non-reactivity in those moments.
Yeah.
It's really hard though,
Oh my God. Totally.
especially when it's like something that's just so insane. It's like hard to just not want to invalidate them and be like, this is ridiculous. Like,
Right.
why are you freaking out right now?
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's like sibling takes spoon from other sibling and it's like earth shattering,
Right.
screaming.
Right.
I mean, it comes up for me in friendships too. Like, I feel like I want my friends to like me and feel positively about me at all times, and like they're striving there
Mm.
instead of like sometimes allowing relationships to have like an ebb and flow and
Mhm.
trusting myself in them.
And then sometimes people want to have a positive outlook on you.
I mean, even clients too, sometimes.
Mhm.
And yeah, like this is like a part of manifestation. Sometimes I do like step back and think like, oof, how good is this for me to focus on? Because sometimes it does like really put my focus on like the future attainment.
Well, it sounds like striving, manifesting.
Totally. But you know what's so ironic? Even though there are like different schools of thought on how to manifest,
Mm.
almost all of them that I've engaged with actually recommend non-striving as a form of manifestation. So they do this weird paradoxical thing of you can't get things you're like desperately trying to get.
Okay.
That's why they call it manifesting, because it's like it just appeared. It just like it's like you're magnetic and it comes to you, the law of attraction.
But what did you do to attract it?
Let go. Usually some form of letting go.
So it's
So-
non-striving
Yeah.
allowed you to manifest something.
That's the idea. However, there
Mhm.
are many moments where it's like you'll manifest something and then it's like I go right back to like reworking the list for like, well, what do I want next?
Yeah.
And then I really am like thinking in that way and
See, that's confusing.
It's confusing. It definitely is. Because like the ethos is different than the practice is different than the experience.
Because it's what do you want? I know what I want.
Yeah,
Let it go. You're going to get it.
exactly. It is like
That's
truly
like-
a contradiction.
Let it go.
Yeah.
And now you're going to get it.
I think like, well, and again, I know I mentioned Deepak Chopra. You know, I'm going to quote him, whether that's controversial at this moment in history or not. But the way he kind of cleared up that idea to me, and I kind of follow his method with it, is his whole thing with manifesting is like, before you meditate, like he believes we manifest in that space between thoughts. So basically like when you're in that deeply mindful stance is like, that's the energy that attracts things to you. That like
Flow state?
it's kind of that. Yeah. It's like presence. It's like deep presence. Like that's what Eckhart Tolle would call it. So he says like before you meditate, read your manifestation list. Just like know it, read it, contact it, then you let it go.
Let it go.
And there's like this faint flicker of it like in your energy
Okay.
for when you then get into that deep presence and you kind of like put it into the quantum field is basically what he would say. And like the woman that I follow the most, this woman, Lacey Phillips, she's very like, you make the list, you're not overly attached to the list.
Mm-hmm.
Like the list is almost like this necessary like form. And she argues that like a lot of times when you manifest, like you don't even really need the thing. You recognize that like what got me the thing is what I actually wanted, which is the sense of self-worth and presence. And I found that to be true too. But I have had real moments where I'm like, man, I am always thinking about that next thing on the list, you know? So sometimes now what I'll do is if I manifest something, I'll check it off and I'll be like, okay, I'm going to sit with like remembering that came about and appreciating it and being present with it.
But when you say manifest, so you've gotten it.
It's happened.
It's happened.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, like before we went to New York, you know this because I think I talked about it, but I was really freaking out about the cold weather. I was like, I've been really negative and judgmental and like, you know, seeing 6 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been to New York in like 30 degrees, 40 degrees. It's miserable because you're outside so much. So like, I was like, oh my God, 6 degrees. Like I'm literally going to be in physical pain the whole trip. And I was kind of like catastrophizing, like everyone else will be fine. I'll be hurting. I'll have to be like a diva. I'll be so embarrassed, also in pain, really just going there. And I had to kind of be like, you got to slow this down. Like you're not even there yet. Like you're going on this trip.
Mm-hmm.
So I have moments sometimes where I'm like waiting for clients to log on and I have my little Post-it notes.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm going to write down the way that I want the trip to go. And I'm not going to strive for that. I'm going to get it into my psyche that it's possible. It was almost like a cognitive flexibility exercise of like, it's possible this outcome could happen. This is in the giant realm of possibilities, as is being miserable. But like, let me just introduce my psyche to like this going well. So I wrote down like, we get to Josh's sister's apartment and we visit for a little bit. It's nice. And then we go to bed early because I knew I'd be tired because I had to get up early for clients and then go to the airport. So I'm like, you know, rest, get a good night's sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And feel really good to embrace the day. And then I was like, I'm going to wear a bunch of layers and it's going to be cold, but it's definitely going to feel bearable. I'm going to feel warm enough. You know, and I wrote, we're going to walk, but it'll be minimal walking, like to subway stations to cabs. And then we'll be inside museums, restaurants, whatever. Really, all that stuff pretty much came true. We maybe had 1 or 2 longer walks, but I actually was okay. And then right after I wrote that down, Josh's sister texted us and she's like, here's the plan. I figure like you guys will get here kind of late. So we'll visit for just a little bit and then we'll go to bed kind of early to get some real rest for the weekend, which is not something she usually says. I mean, I really feel like I manifested that.
Manifest.
By just entertaining. Now, that wouldn't be like the woman I follow. That would be like old school manifestation, like The Secret, which is like positive. I mean, it can be toxic positivity, to be honest. It's like,
Sure. Just keep putting it out there.
think positive and you will manifest
And it'll happen.
positive. But in my sense, it wasn't like thinking positive. It wasn't, because I wasn't invalidating. I was like, why don't I just spend 5 minutes imagining a different outcome?
A different scenario.
So that your psyche knows this could happen, and also this, and also a million other things. That sense of like expansion of options.
Mm-hmm.
There's like that flexibility. It could be like this, it could be like this. And it loosened me up a little bit for my fusion with the negative.
Yeah.
And I do think that helped. But was I don't feel like I was striving right there.
Well, maybe part of non-striving is to let go of the negative stuff you're striving with.
Yeah.
So entertaining another possibility is non-striving in the direction of I'm striving so hard by attaching to this thing that I know is going to be bad, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's
like I'm
like
trying to change
I was
something by
giving it
just
life.
continuing to ruminate on it or something.
Yeah.
Catastrophizing.
Yeah.
It's funny too, because in that story, you're almost talking about New York as if we weren't experiencing the exact same bitter cold here in
We
Chicago.
don't walk here.
I understand that, but
Yeah.
it's almost like the way you talk about it, like we lived in like a
But
like
it's
in a warm
different.
area.
Yeah. I just think the fact that it's such a walking city,
Yeah.
it's hell.
Hell.
Because here it's like Josh and I work from home.
Right.
We have a heated garage that holds our car.
Right.
We don't go that many places.
You go in a bubble.
And I think I was also thinking about the fact that, because you're right, it's freezing in Chicago. It's colder in Chicago, usually, a little bit. But what I also know is like, I know myself on like trips with other people, like especially your family. Like your family's active. You guys like to be out and about. And I do too, but like I'm way more type B. I can do like one activity and be like, we'll relax for a couple hours, right? Like
Sit.
that's who I am. I remember I visited my cousin in New Orleans. He's like, I have a whole new philosophy on trips now that I'm seeing you like take 2 naps in a day. And I was like, I really am not going to like rush around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for the ambiance. Like, you know, like not
Here
really.
for the scenery.
Yeah. Cause like his mom, dad, shout out to my Aunt Jenny and Uncle Mark. When they're on trips, it's like 1,000 sightseeing.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And my aunt, she even said to me, she's like, food is for fuel. It's not on trips. We don't. And she's talking about like going to Paris and feeling that way. And I'm like, oh, the entire trip is food for me.
Right.
Food and
way
like
to travel.
sitting in a cafe, walking around.
Right.
And New York is kind of that too. It's like walking around, food, like
So maybe even
hanging.
that is one person striving on a trip and the other person's not striving.
Right.
I'm not judging. You know, people do like to see a lot of things and be active on trips. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right. Totally.
But for another person, that might be striving.
yeah.
Because then the
For me.
agenda is I have to like check everything off the list that I saw everything here.
Does sightseeing specific like monuments like feel? Sometimes I'll go and be like so impressed by something and like
Yeah.
interested in it, but there's so many where I'm sort of like, I could take or leave this thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on the monument.
Yeah. Right.
For sure.
Of course.
Yeah. I think I get much more awe out of natural
Yeah. Oh.
phenomenon
yeah.
like nature or,
Totally.
you know, those types of things. But there are definitely things that are man-made that are very awe-inspiring.
Yeah,
I
I'm
get
like
much
taking
more
this
out of
back as
art,
I'm saying it.
too. I like take me to a
Yeah.
museum. I know some people hate museums because they're like, I just want to be outside. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I could be in a museum all day
Yeah.
that has beautiful artwork and
Yeah, I like that more now at this era of my life. Probably when I was a little bit younger, sometimes I thought it was kind of boring.
Mhm.
But we went to the Whitney when we were in New York and it was really nice. There was a very cool exhibit where this photographer picked 25 people out of the phone book, sent them like a Polaroid camera and had them like take pictures of a day in their life.
that's cool.
It was like he was so
Great
interested
idea.
in what they decided to capture.
Yeah. How did you pick the names?
I think random.
Yeah, I feel like there was maybe some algorithm for how
Some
he did
algorithm?
it. Yeah.
Randomizer?
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, because someone in our group was like, sounds like they did all the work. And I'm like, I think the concept is the piece, you know,
Mhm.
like seeing what people chose. Like there was he sent it to someone in Hawaii and they only took pictures of the inside of their office. And he's like, it turns your perception of like, what is picturesque in Hawaii and like, what does someone decide to capture? And they just like picture their
Well,
office.
yeah. And what was the prompt? Like, just
Yeah,
what
what
does your
was the
day
prompt?
look like?
I think it was like, because he didn't give them a number of pictures because it varied in the number of
It was
pictures.
just-
I think it was like photograph a day in your life, I think.
Yeah, because that would even be interesting to follow up with a person where it's like, wow, you really had no maybe thought that you had to make it look like anything other than a day in your life. You live in
Yeah.
Hawaii and you took pictures of your cubicle.
Office building, yeah.
Because that is a day in your life. Whereas somebody might have
Yes.
been like, I got to drive by some cliff and take a great
Yeah,
picture. And I got to
waterfall.
make this look great, you know.
Right.
Would you do that if an artist sent you a Polaroid, and would you take a picture or pictures of your life?
Well, we were talking about how it's so unique because these days, if someone sent me that prompt, like I'd probably think it was like spam, or like I'd be freaked out by it.
Well, the person got physical mail though, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like that would be different than like,
Yeah. Than the internet or whatever.
well, you just mail is shit. Like you,
Yeah.
like it just, you don't get anything good in the mail. If I actually got that, I was like, this has got to be legit. Like who would do this?
God, I would really hope. I mean, maybe if I recognize the name of the artist and I could like trace it,
Mm-hmm.
but I think everything is like someone's coming to get me. You know, like
Yeah.
photograph. I don't want them to have photographs of me.
A day in the life.
A day in
Kelly
the
Kilgallen.
life of, yeah, and it's like if it were wintertime, I guess we'd be taking pics of the inside of this apartment because like I never leave.
Right.
It's cold.
Cozy on the couch.
Cozy on the couch.
Dinner.
Dinner,
I mean, breakfast, lunch, dinner.
breakfast, lunch, dinner.
What
Yeah.
a great artist.
They'd
exhibit.
watch me.
It's a great idea.
Isn't that so cool? Now, I will say what's funny is like it was so hot in that area.
Yeah, that floor was hotter than the other floors.
I think they like the heat broke in that and it was like overheating it. So it's like a very cool exhibit, but I'm also associating it with being like really sweaty under all my layers.
We were starting to get pretty hungry too.
Yeah, that's true.
For some reason, my mind's going to like time traveling to a past where an artist could send you like a tape and say, make us a mixtape for a day in your life.
Yeah.
You have like
So
a cassette
cool.
tape
Totally.
of like songs that person liked.
Yeah.
Or
Oh
what
my
they're
God,
listening
making
to
a
right now.
mixtape.
Yeah.
It took so much more effort to make someone a playlist.
A playlist.
You had to get the cassette and like wind it up or whatever and like do the whole thing.
Well, it depended on if you had the CD player with the cassette, and then you'd have to put your CD in, and you'd have to start it, pause it, and then, oh yeah.
Oh my God.
That's how you
Did
made a
ever
mix.
do it?
Oh, all the time for my friends.
Wow.
In high school, all the time.
That is
Yeah.
so cool.
I was known as having more of a like rap collection than most, and so a lot of my
Oh.
friends would ask me to make them like
Rap.
mixtapes of
Yeah.
like stuff they hadn't heard,
Wow.
artists that they hadn't heard.
Incredible.
So, or at least even if they had heard them, they were like, "Give me a deep cut, give me
Yeah.
a mixtape."
Yeah.
Hmm.
I want to know what you'd put on. my
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
playlist. Yeah.
And I'd put some little drawings on the like where the songs were. I'd like put some little drawings on there, personalize it a little bit.
Wow, I
Mhm.
love that. I love that. We've drifted from striving. but
Listen, I'm striving to get back into cassettes. Why not?
But maybe we let our conversation wander.
We
and
let it be.
Embrace that.
I think that's a lot of what this podcast is.
I mean, 100%.
not striving. We don't really strive
We don't
to,
really strive to stay.
which probably turns off a lot of our listeners.
Yeah, totally. I'm
I
sure.
thought they were going to talk about this,
I
but they
thought
just
that.
let it be.
Yeah.
But that's
we-
what a conversation is. Don't strive for it to go anywhere.
Yeah. That's the beauty of a podcast.
That's the
It's
beauty of a
free
podcast.
form conversation.
It's the beauty of our
unless it isn't.
podcast.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe any other thoughts on striving? Non-striving?
I don't know. Maybe it's like the non-judgmental stance. Maybe I need to put it on my radar a little bit more
Yeah,
and
I
think
do.
a little bit more about it. Be more intentional with it.
Totally.
Notice when I'm doing it. Allow things to play out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Maybe that's my not looking for an outcome.
Right.
My intention.
Yeah. Yeah. I really think I want to think about it. And I will. Well, that'll be my intention.
That'll be your intention.
I will force that outcome. No, I do. And I really think the parenting example was a helpful one because it's so tricky in that area. It's like if you're like a teacher, it's like, how do you teach and not strive? It's like that's like the crux of doing the paradox.
Right.
Which
And
is
for maybe
cool.
our listeners thinking about us as well, because we are clients of therapists, but in people's own works with their therapists, maybe thinking about, do they strive in their sessions, or
Yeah.
are they fused with certain things that they want
Yeah.
to come out of their therapy, which again, it's a fine line. You want to have goals and you want to
Yes.
move towards certain things. That's really important. And maybe at times in your therapy, letting things just kind of unfold and sitting with them.
I think that's why, like, when you set goals, to try to pin them back to values really helps you not strive.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because really what matters in the essence of it is the value. So, like, does it have to literally be this outcome? Or can you move through the world with this energy?
Energy.
It's like I want to have a house versus I want to be a house.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I want to be a house.
A house is not a home.
And a home is where we are right now.
Tie a bow on it. Tie
Oh
a
my
bow.
God.
And that's my OCD talk.
No, that's what the producer offers,
I
really.
love it. I love
Put a
it.
bow on it.
I'll be curious what your OCD over the week or weeks will think about non-striving.
I love non-striving. I already know. This has weirdly been a fixation of mine this last week.
Yeah.
So you had texted about it, and I think I didn't really put two and two together because I was so busy editing. But as you were talking about it, I was like, oh yeah, this is my jam.
Yeah.
Try not to strive.
Yeah.
Just be present.
be present.
Just be.
Like, I had to remind myself so many times this morning in my early grumpiness, like, there's nothing to be done. You feel grumpy. Be present with that.
Yeah.
You don't need to be not grumpy.
Be
And then it
grumpy.
faded away over the course of the day.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my 2
It's
cents.
because you were getting closer to being with me.
The closer I get to John, the less I
The
strive.
less grumpy.
Yeah. The more you
The
strive.
closer I get to Kelly, striving ensues.
Striving.
Striving hashtag.
Thriving.
Maybe we could get that to go viral as a hashtag. Do hashtags go viral?
What's a hashtag?
Do you know what a hashtag is?
Kind of.
A hashtag is like the pound sign.
I know what a hashtag
Oh!
is. What's a hashtag?
Oh my god, I totally bought that for a second. I love it. I love it. Okay, so we'll move into our how wise is it?
How wise is it?
What did we say?
I don't know. Are we doing that? How wise is it?
Wait, what was it again? Oh, a surprise party.
To have surprise
Should we do that,
parties?
Josh, or did you have another one?
Surprise.
Party.
Do I have another one? Well, I wasn't thinking of another one because we said we were going to do that one.
Okay, well, let's do it.
Let me, how wise is it to get a guided tour at a museum?
Should we do that one?
Or could we go more in depth about the surprise party?
Well, I feel like maybe we burned it.
Okay.
Did we burn it?
Okay, so our how wise is it today?
Because we're scrapping our previous idea.
Yes,
Scrapping.
we're now going with how wise is it to get a guided tour at a museum versus experience the art and the pieces on your own.
Clarifying question.
Okay.
Is a guided tour also a tour where you get like headphones?
So actually, that is a great question. Like,
Is
are we
that
talking about a
still
docent or are we talking about
the
recorded?
recording where you can scan the like QR by the piece and then it gives you like, does that count as guided? I kind of lean towards it does
Yeah.
because I'm thinking only of the opposite of it, which would be you're really going in with
Nothing.
nothing. You're
Yeah.
just experiencing the art, the museum, wherever it is that you are
Yeah.
as is. So I kind of
Yeah.
lump it together. Is that a fair lump?
I think it's a fair lump. I mean, I almost think we definitely have to cover the recorded ones because the docent adds this element of like community around the art, whereas like the recorded doesn't.
Yeah, you're still very isolated.
Yeah.
Not isolated, but you're not listening to it with anybody else.
Right. It's in your headphones. At the Whitney, like you hook up your AirPods to it.
Right.
And then they tell you about each piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what we're saying.
How wise is it?
How wise is it? I mean, I'm really torn on this one.
It's tough. It's a tough question. I like it. It's a hard hitter.
Yeah. Well, because when we
What does your first instinct tell you?
my first instinct tells me it's not wise.
Me too.
Okay. Well, I want to hear why you think.
I almost feel like there's an immediate knee-jerk resistance to not wanting to like listen to it
Yes, totally.
because maybe that's like a school-based like thing within me, or
Yeah.
I really want to go in and just feel like I can go where I want to go. I can stand as long as I want to stand somewhere.
Yeah.
Like I want free reign.
Yeah.
So maybe there's like a little bit of a
Freedom.
like petulant child in me that is, you're not going to tell me how long to stay at a piece of artwork, or you're not going to, like, you know, like
Yes.
that type of thing.
100%.
I don't know. My knee-jerk reaction is to be like, go in, experience the museum for yourself.
Yeah.
But then there's a adult part of me that's like, you're going to miss so much if you don't listen.
You know,
Or you're going to
yeah.
miss some rich stuff that you wouldn't know.
Well, that's to be
Or-
sure that there is like rich information in the tour.
Mhm.
But like, I feel like when I put my headphones in this last time, I ended up turning them off because I was like, I'm just listening to someone like tell me what to know about this and almost like what to experience out of it.
Yeah.
And I was sort of like, the beauty of art is like, what do you feel?
What does
when
it
you
evoke?
Yeah. What does it evoke? And I do think it can interrupt that. It probably doesn't have to. And maybe you could do a little bit of both where you don't turn on the audio until you've like spent some time with the piece.
Yeah.
It's like, how much time do we have? Yeah, I'm going to say no. If you have to pick between the two, I would definitely go in on your own.
This makes me think I was at the Field Museum with the boys, Sarah and my mother-in-law, and her husband was so far behind us because he was reading every single
Whoa.
thing.
Boy
And
Scout.
I was like, man, that's such a admirable thing, yet also not how I engage with a museum at all.
No.
It's more about like the sensory for me. I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
not sensory for him, but for me, it's more about the sensory, the sights, the sounds, the what it evokes.
Yeah.
And if something really evokes it, I'll lean in and maybe read something more about it. But
Sure.
that was like wild to me because I was like, where's
Yeah.
Ben? And they're like, oh, he's way back there. He's reading like every single
He's on
plaque.
floor 2.
He's
Yeah.
still with the dinosaurs.
Oh
We're already
my
into cavemen. You know,
God.
it's like wild. But anyway, it made me think
Wow.
of like, yeah, I think I engage more. It's wiser for me to maybe not wiser, but I like to feel like it's more organic or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm so with you there. Like, I would never read every single one. I'll read if I'm like moved to read it. You
Mhm.
know, if it's like something striking and I'm curious, like, what's the name of the artist?
Now,
Like,
would you be more prone? Like, is there a type of museum that you would lean more into the guided tour?
yeah, it's a good question. Probably a history museum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
Because
too.
you're kind of like, these are facts. Like, this is what we're doing here.
Right.
Yeah.
Art, I think I'm full blown now that we're talking about it. I'm
Don't
not doing
do
the
it.
tour.
Yeah.
It's not wise for me.
Well, especially because is the option of the written stuff on the side. Like,
There is. It's
if
written
you're
there.
really confused and you're like, I need something to help me engage with this, look at the wall.
If you're like, I don't get it.
I get it.
I
Wouldn't
just-
that be funny if I just stood in front of like the Mona Lisa and I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah. I remember one time one of my good friends from college, he worked in a building that had a glass installation done by like Dale Chihuly. He did like the
Mm.
Bellagio and like he does all these
Oh,
like floating glass over
wow.
Venice and stuff like that.
So cool.
And I went and I picked him up from work one time and I was like, man, I was like, holy shit. I was like, you have a Chihuly in your office building, like in the atrium. And he was like, what's that? And I was like, it's like above you. And his response just made me laugh so hard. He was like, not much of an art guy. And then it was just like moving on to the next thing.
Not much of
an art guy. He was like,
Anyway.
and great. Didn't want to know anything else about it.
I
I was like, this is
love it.
amazing. You walk in this like every day. And he was like, yeah, not much of an art guy. I was like, perfect.
God, it's like you'd hope that someone, even if
Perfect.
you're not much of a quote art guy, you might just look up and be like,
No.
beautiful.
Not much of an art guy.
So funny.
Yeah, that response. So I don't think he's getting many guided tours.
Oh my
of,
God.
not wise to do the guided tour.
There's like a Futurama joke where like the robot like goes to like a gallery and he goes up to the desk. He's like, one art, please. That's right.
Yeah.
It's
Totally.
so funny. Yeah. Yeah. It's like we all have different. And I think some people are too trying to like figure it out. And this is not how I experience it at all.
That's not how I usually do it either.
Yeah. It's just more like, whoa, what's coming up for me?
I always thought though it would be cool, not that job in particular, but I always thought when I get older, like my second career from being a therapist is going to be like somebody who works in like a museum doing something.
It'd be so cool.
I just love museums.
Yeah.
They're just
And
like
the
their
people that
own
work there-
world, their own like
Yeah.
it's like their own just like world in there.
I feel like a lot of people that work there though are kind of just like, can you not touch that? You know, like it's a little bit like
oh
that
yeah, I wouldn't be
job.
like that job.
Oof.
I don't know what I would
maybe you
do
could
there,
be the kind of
but
tour guide that like engage with the group. Like as a group therapist, you could be like, I wonder what people are noticing.
Yeah, like maybe have them have the reactions first before I drop the knowledge on them.
Yeah.
All right. I'm
Or
quitting.
you could even be-
I'm quitting being a therapist.
You
tomorrow.
literally could start a business like that, like guiding people, be like a private tour guide and do that kind of tour guide. I mean, that'd be incredible. I would take you up on that.
Great.
And it's like,
$2,000.
and you could say like, I know more facts about this. Tell me if you're interested in that, or do you want to just move on and kind of experience more like what
Yeah.
you see and talk about that?
I feel like I should have some background in art, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I walk in, I
Maybe
like,
a little
know
bit like,
nothing.
yeah, I'm just a therapist. What's your art background? Not much of an art guy. And
but I'm here.
what does this evoke?
Yeah. Wow.
But I do
mean,
like
that.
tours.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're, again, I like the idea of getting a lot of information.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's wise for me all
Yeah.
the time. I don't lean in that direction right away.
We were laughing when we were at the museum that like we looked at so much art that like when we went down the back stairs to like get out, we were like, it's starting to feel like every part of this is like a piece. Like even the staircase, it's like,
Yeah.
how does it relate to the
Is
rest
this-
of the exhibit? You know?
You know what the tour also does if you're doing the headphone stuff is it takes you out of conversation with the people you went with.
Literally. That's exactly why we both took it out. A part of why.
And then it's kind of like, then are they listening? Should I interrupt them from their experience? Do they want
Yeah.
to talk? Maybe they don't want to talk now.
Right.
I feel like it disconnects you.
Yeah. I mean, Ben's 2 blocks down.
2 blocks.
Two
At
museum
least.
blocks.
2 museum blocks, which is long.
Yeah.
Those are long blocks.
I mean,
I don't even see the guy. I'm like,
Yeah.
where is he?
Because he thinks there's like a test.
It's like, well, the man just reads everything. So it's like,
It's so funny.
this is just a funny sidebar. There, for some reason, Sarah has the same name as somebody who went to the University of Dayton.
Oh, nice.
Right. Not that her name is that uncommon.
Right.
I look at you, you're like, nice, good work.
I know someone with the name.
Sarah went to Wisconsin, so, not very close to one another, but we get the alumni mailing from Dayton. And it was one time just sitting like in our place. And one time, Sarah's mom and Ben were visiting. And Ben was sitting on the couch. I'm like, what are you reading? I don't even recognize that. He's like, oh, I'm reading this Dayton alumni magazine. And I was like, why? I was like,
Like,
nobody
Ben?
went there.
It's a
We didn't go.
mistake.
He was like, I don't know. It was just out. It looked interesting.
It was just
he
out.
will just read anything. Like, just
Wow.
wild. So I guess it makes sense that
That is
he would be in a
so-
museum
yeah.
reading everything because
Oh
he's
my
reading the University of
God.
Dayton alumni mailings.
Wow. He's the person reading like the whole backstory when someone like puts a recipe up on the internet.
Yeah.
Oh
like
my
just reading galore.
Wow. Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. Does he have like his PhD or something?
He was a judge.
Oh, that's
so
right. He's a
he
civil
was in a
servant.
lot of
Yeah. Went to
legal.
law school.
Went to
so
law
much reading.
school. Yes. Public defender's office. He ended up being a judge and yeah.
Wow.
So-
And he's also, follows the rules.
Mm,
You read all the things.
gotta read all the things.
Yeah, totally.
including alumni mailing.
Incredible.
And all the plaques in the museum.
Wow. I love it.
Well, that was a good
Totally.
How Wise Is It?
Yeah. I
don't know,
love
what do you
that
think?
one. Yeah, Josh.
Shish.
I really love the word docent.
Yeah, it's good.
Docent.
A baker's docent.
A baker's docent.
I think it's not wise.
Yeah.
I agree with everything you said.
Okay.
I wish I could remember because I remember the moment we took our AirPods out. This was the first time we had ever tried like the guided in-ear
Yeah.
tour, speaking in your ear, he telling you about the pieces. I was like, this is interesting, but I'm feeling disconnected from the world around me. And I kind of love just like
Yeah.
standing in front of the piece and like, it almost feels like I'm meditating the whole time I'm at an art museum, which
Right?
it doesn't if you're listening to someone talk in your ear.
Yeah.
But I love the ambience. And I also love to eavesdrop on people talking about
For
the pieces
sure.
around me.
Yeah.
But I forget the second I took out my AirPod. I wish I could remember verbatim what they said, but I heard the group next to me talking, and it was like something funny about the piece I was looking at. I was like, that's why I took my AirPods out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost feel like they were talking about the Super Bowl, but I don't think it was that. And I was like, that's the kind of cultural context I need.
And the guy's like, not much of an art guy.
He was like, because there was all these little like circus figures.
Oh, yes.
And he was like, that guy looks like a da-da-ba-da. And I was like, oh, you nailed it.
You nailed it. He looks like a little docent.
Yeah, a tiny little docent.
A little circus docent.
That's my little baker's docent.
Oh my God, I'm dead. That's so funny. Okay, I love it. So now we know it's not wise.
But, yeah, maybe. Write in.
Yeah,
Tell us
write
your
in.
stories from the field of how wise it was that you didn't, and you couldn't have imagined your museum experience any other way.
Yeah,
Because we would love to hear that as well.
definitely. Okay, well, that's our episode.
That's our episode.
That's what we call an episode.
That's what we call another one in the can.
Okay, so if people want to find you, John, where can they go?
Email me at butts.jonathan@gmail.com. What about you?
Okay. And I can be found at kkpsychotherapy.com. I have an inquiry page there, so send me an inquiry about really anything. You want to work with me? You want to talk about the pod? Come on the pod?
All of it.
Jish?
You can find me at Jish. You can find me at Josh, like Josh, Bayer, Bayer, like the aspirin, films.com. That is my website. I keep getting asked to edit things. I don't have time, but you can ask me to, and sometimes I have time.
Yes.
Okay.
Do
That's
it.
my story. The website, you can contact me there.
And keep contacting Josh for wanting to be on the pod. We
Yeah.
love all the emails.
We love
Yeah,
it.
you got my number.
We love it. Yeah, we have a couple
Hit 'em
in the
up.
can that are going to be exciting for you all. But we will see you next week.
We'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Blanket
Bye.
Forts.
Oh, thank you, Blanket Forts. The Wise Mind Happy Hour podcast is for entertainment purposes only, not to be treated as medical advice. If you are struggling with your mental health, please seek medical attention or counseling.